And just like I mentioned before, these are the indicators, but there are also the strategies. And the strategies, I think it's also quite a unique strategy because I can test some kind of strategy and also I can create a strategy in the TradingView programming language, a Pine script. So I can check if the strategy will be good from the historical point of view, or maybe it's not quite that good. For example, I will close this position that I have open, and by clicking, let's say Pine editor, or maybe no, forget about the Pine editor for a moment, and let's open these indicators. And we were saying about some kind of strategy. So let's say strategy, you're using RSI, okay, technicals, strategy, strategy, RSI divergence. We have some kind of, strategy RSI. We have the strategy RSI. Oh, sorry, my bad. I've clicked the wrong one. Okay, so let's go back to this Pine editor. So the Pine editor, and then we can find some kind of strategy. For example, open script. And we have, of course, the script that we have created before. Or maybe if we want to just check some kind of strategy, then we can just click it, create new, and we have built-in script, of course. So we can create new strategy. Okay, we have a new strategy and we want to check how this strategy will work. For example, this is a very simple strategy that I was writing in Pine script with long condition, when the long condition is where we have a crossover, the 14 SMA above the 28 SMA. And so this is a strategy entry, and the short entry when we have the cross under SMA 14, do the same thing with the 28. So it's a cross under. Yeah, we have the short entry ID, and we can add it to the chart. Okay, we can add it to the chart. And what we will see right here, we have a strategy tester. We have an overview, performance, trade this analysis, risk performance ratios, list of trades. So as you can see right here, I can say, okay, this maybe is not the best strategy. I will remind you that creating this strategy was in about 30 seconds. So to be completely honest, I really believe that this strategy is not the greatest because I created this in such a short time. But as you can see, total profit and loss, we have the loss. We have also a very quiet drawdown. And this is information for us and the performance. How does the strategy works? We can see the open profit and loss. We can see the net profit, gross loss, buy and hold return. As you can see, it's not a buy and hold strategy. It's quite the opposite, because if we want to buy and hold this strategy, and I will remind you, if you don't know what is a buy and hold return, you have to just click the show description and you will have an information about the return achieved if all funds initial capital were used to buy the security when the first trade is entered and the position was held for the duration of the test period. So as you can see, the first position was not quite at our side, and there is why we can see this minus in our account. Also the trades analysis, total trades 470, total open trades 1, winning trades before 143, losing trades 270. So maybe I was supposed to do something quite opposite and not to open buy trade but sell trade, and maybe it would be much better performance. And you have also all different kinds of stats of average winning trade, losing trade, the largest winning trade, and also the average bars in trade. It's very important for your stats. If you are creating some kind of strategy, then it's very important to you, like, okay, so what are the average bars in the winning trades? For example, like 43, but in losing trades, only 18. And by having this information, I can have my thoughts about what can I change? What can I make better in my trading performance? And maybe I'm going to do it in different ways. And also the risk performance ratio, like Sharp ratio, Sortino, it's not quite good, but let's face the fact, if the strategy is bad, then the metrics will also be not very good. And of course, we can have like exit, entry, shorts, and I can check my trades. Where did it happen? How did it end? What's my cumulative profit, run up, drawdown? and I can have this information. And for me, it's a very important how is the run up, how is the drawdown? Because for me as a trader, it's very important to check out what are my performances and also what is the drawdown of the single trade, because it will give me a very important information if this trade was a quite good trade or maybe it's quite opposite. So of course, this is a strategy tester, and of course we can find some different metric strategies with using, let's say, RSI. Like I said, RSI strategy. Okay, we have now some different strategy. I just found it out. I just found out by using slash button or this indicators. I just found out the RSI strategy report. And now I can see that total profit and loss is on plus. I can see that is $171 on plus, but the maximum equity drawdown is above 300. Total trades 93. Profitable trades 63%. And by checking this performance, I can have information about how the strategy is working. Of course, I can also remove my previous strategy and also focus only on this RSI strategy report. And also I can add different kinds of alerts, settings, and export data. With using the strategy tester, I can adding alert and settings and so on, just like I said before. So it's very important for all of you, for all of the traders, that we can find some kind of strategy, and maybe we can, by using one click, I can say, okay, how did it work on this instrument, and how does it work on this time frame? And also, please remember, I just was showing you a very simple strategy that was not quite good. But if you are having some kind of vision about your strategy, about how to trade, then remember that you can use only Open Pine preference. Pine script, we have now that at the Pine script, we have version number 6. And you will see the reference manual. You have all the information about the variables, the constants, functions, keyword, annotations. And of course, if you are not familiar with the newest version 6 of the Pine script, you can also check the different version, like version 5, maybe version 4. But if you are new in learning Pine script, then it could be very good for you to start with the newest version, and you can find different kinds of variables and how to create a setup of functions. You have to create your own strategy. So you can also click here the Pine script language reference, and also you will have information about the Pine script. You can, of course, find more information about how to create your strategy. And of course, when you will create it, you can simply put it in the strategy tester and you can say, okay, so this strategy looks good, or quite the opposite. The strategy looks bad. And what can I do about it? What can I do to make it work? And from my point of view, this is a very important. Remember, if you are checking some kind of strategy, you can also add to chart. And also, if you are interested in publish this strategy, because you will write some kind of strategy and you want the other person, the other traders to find it, you can simply click the publish strategy and it will be published to the wider audience. So as you can see, you can do a lot in TradingView, and especially if you have some kind of programming skills, you can simply use the Pine editor, you can use the strategy tester and check out how simple strategy is working.